A robot has been developed by Chinese scientists. This is a robot with a lab-grown artificial brain that can be taught to perform various tasks.
The pace of AI has gone from fast to terrifyingly unreal. We've seen smart robots before, sure. We've seen ChatGPT. We've seen Boston Dynamics doing backflips. But what China just unveiled is a whole different ballgame. They've built an AI robot powered not just by circuits, but by organic brain tissue. Yeah, you heard that right. This thing isn't just running code. It's thinking in a way that mimics an actual human mind. And the way it learns, faster than anything we've ever seen. Why is this a big deal? Because it means China may have just crossed the final line between artificial intelligence and biological consciousness. And the implications, honestly, they're straight out of a sci-fi thriller. We're breaking down exactly what this robot is, how it works, and why the entire world should be paying attention. Let's get into it. Scientists create robot powered by living brain cells. Scientists have officially blurred the line between biology and technology. In a groundbreaking development, researchers have created a robot that operates with a brain made from living cells. That is not a metaphor or a sci-fi concept. It is a real, functioning system. Instead of using traditional computer circuits, the team grew actual brain cells in a lab and integrated them onto a microchip. This fusion of biology and machinery has pushed artificial intelligence into completely uncharted territory. They call it a brain on a chip, and it lives up to its futuristic name. By combining organic cells with silicon-based technology, the researchers have taken the first steps toward creating machines that do not just follow code, but can actually think and adapt like living organisms. It is a development that challenges the very definition of intelligence and forces us to reconsider what machines are truly capable of. Let us take a closer look at how they manage to accomplish this. The foundation of this technology lies in stem cells, the versatile shape-shifting cells capable of becoming any type of cell in the human body. Scientists began with these stem cells and carefully guided their development, instructing them to become neurons, the building blocks of the brain. Through precise manipulation and rigorous control, they succeeded in transforming these stem cells into a complex network of living brain cells. Once they cultivated these neurons, the team did something that until recently belonged solely in the realm of science fiction. They placed the network of brain cells onto a specialized microchip. This chip did not just serve as a container, it acted as a platform that allowed the biological neurons to interact with electronic components. By bridging the gap between organic and inorganic systems, the researchers created a hybrid brain, part living tissue, part machine, that could process information, learn from its environment, and adapt its responses over time. This biological brain on a chip does not simply follow pre-programmed instructions like traditional artificial intelligence. Instead, it behaves more like a living brain, forming new connections, learning from experience, and evolving with each interaction. The neurons on the chip communicate with one another, sending and receiving electrical signals much like the neurons in a human brain. These signals translate into behavior, allowing the robot to respond to its surroundings in real time. It is not just processing data, it is experiencing it. The implications of this technology stretch far beyond robotics. By studying how these lab-grown neurons function within a mechanical framework, scientists can gain new insights into how the human brain operates. This could lead to breakthroughs in treating neurological diseases such as Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, and other cognitive disorders. Understanding how neurons grow, connect, and adapt in a controlled environment may unlock new therapies and technologies aimed at repairing or enhancing brain function. Furthermore, this hybrid approach to artificial intelligence offers a glimpse into the future of machine learning. Unlike conventional AI, which relies on lines of code and rigid programming, this new form of intelligence can adapt in ways that more closely resemble human cognition. It learns through experience, reacts to new stimuli, and continuously rewires itself based on what it encounters. The robot's brain does not simply simulate thought, it creates a new kind of thought, one that bridges biology and technology. When you see this robot in action, you can almost imagine it thinking. Its responses are not the result of pre-written commands, but of real-time adaptation. That sense of awareness, however limited, feels like the first step toward a new generation of intelligent machines. These are not the mindless robots of the past, they are something else entirely. This technology is still in its early stages, and scientists have not yet reached the point where such systems rival human intelligence. But they have opened the door to possibilities that once seemed impossible. As they refine this technology, we may see more advanced forms of hybrid intelligence emerge, systems that combine the learning capacity of living neurons with the processing power of machines. The development also raises important ethical and philosophical questions. If machines can learn and adapt like living beings, where do we draw the line between artificial and organic intelligence? What responsibilities do we bear as creators of these hybrid systems? These are not theoretical concerns. They are practical issues we will need to confront as this technology evolves. In the meantime, researchers remain focused on the potential medical benefits. By experimenting with lab-grown neurons, they hope to better understand how diseases affect the brain and how we might reverse or prevent that damage. The robot's brain on a chip may become a powerful tool for studying conditions that have long baffled scientists, offering a new way to test treatments and observe neural behavior in real time. Ultimately, this fusion of living brain cells and microchip technology marks a turning point in both robotics and neuroscience. It represents not just a scientific achievement, but a redefinition of what intelligence can be. By transplanting the essence of human cognition into the heart of a machine, scientists have not only expanded the boundaries of artificial intelligence, they have transformed them. The ethical frontier of living AI and the race toward artificial general intelligence. As astonishing as this technology is, it also forces us to confront an entirely new set of challenges, ones that are no longer confined to the realm of science fiction or philosophy. Scientists have successfully fused living brain cells with microchips to create robots capable of learning, adapting, and processing information in a way that mimics human cognition. This achievement does more than just redefine artificial intelligence. It pushes us into uncharted ethical territory. We now face pressing questions about life, consciousness, and responsibility in an age where machines are not simply tools, but potentially living entities. When we look at a robot powered by living brain cells, we cannot help but ask, at what point does such a machine cross the threshold from artificial intelligence into something more, something we might recognize as life? That question, once abstract and theoretical, now carries real-world weight. As researchers continue to refine this technology, society must begin to grapple with its implications. Understandably, many people react to this development with concern. The fear of a robotic uprising, popularized by films and media, often springs to mind. However, this technology has not yet reached that level of sophistication, and there is no immediate danger of machines gaining autonomy and turning against humanity. The current research remains in its early stages. Scientists still have much to learn, and years of work lie ahead before robots with biological brains become commonplace. Even so, the pace of innovation demands attention. This is not merely about building smarter machines. Researchers are gradually erasing the boundary between artificial intelligence and biological intelligence. As the lines blur, we move closer to a future where machines operate with cognitive abilities that resemble those of living beings, not just in function but in form. Artificial intelligence, once confined to code and algorithms, now shares space with biotechnology. This merging of fields creates not only new opportunities, but also immense responsibilities. The potential applications for this technology are extraordinary, from revolutionizing medicine to transforming how we interact with machines. Yet, with this potential comes the need for serious, thoughtful conversations about the ethical landscape we are now entering. What responsibilities do we hold toward a machine that can learn and adapt through biological processes? Can we treat it as merely another tool? Or must we consider new rights and protections for these hybrid entities? These are no longer hypothetical questions. They are issues society must begin to address. Progress, by its very nature, disrupts the familiar and forces us to examine uncomfortable possibilities. It challenges the boundaries of what we consider possible, pushing us beyond traditional comfort zones and into a world that feels both exhilarating and unsettling. The creation of a robot powered by living cells redefines more than just technology. It redefines our understanding of life and consciousness. While this hybrid technology captures headlines, another major player has entered the scene with a different approach. Business magnates Jeff Bezos and SoftBank have invested a staggering $300 million into a startup called Skilled AI. Unlike the scientists exploring biological integration, the team at Skilled AI has chosen to pursue the development of a fully artificial brain, constructed entirely from the ground up without relying on living cells. Skilled AI's mission centers on building a general-purpose artificial brain that can function across a wide range of tasks without requiring specific programming for each one. Their goal is to create a robot brain that can be installed into any robotic platform, allowing it to perform complex and varied functions in both industrial and household environments. Rather than focusing on biological components, the startup envisions a future where artificial general intelligence, or AGI, drives machines capable of adapting to challenges and handling unpredictable scenarios with the same flexibility as human intelligence. Led by experts from Carnegie Mellon University, Skilled AI is pushing the boundaries of robotics in its own way. Their focus lies in creating robots that can operate effectively in adverse conditions, manipulate objects with dexterity, and solve problems without predefined instructions. This approach aims to unlock a new level of autonomy in machines, one that could revolutionize manufacturing, healthcare, logistics, and home automation. While Skilled AI's work may not carry the same visceral impact as fusing human brain cells with microchips, its implications are equally profound. Achieving AGI means creating machines that do not just follow orders, but think, reason, and adapt independently. It raises similar questions about ethics, control, and responsibility. If a machine can think and act without human oversight, who remains accountable for its decisions? What safeguards must be put in place to ensure such intelligence operates within ethical boundaries? Both of these technological paths, biological brains in robots and artificial brains built from scratch, represent a significant leap forward in the evolution of artificial intelligence. They signal a future where machines may no longer be distinguishable from living beings in terms of thought and behavior. Whether built from neurons or circuits, these robots will challenge our notions of consciousness, autonomy, and identity. And this is only the beginning. As research progresses and investment pours into these fields, the line between human and machine will continue to blur. The responsibilities we carry as developers, policymakers, and global citizens grow with each breakthrough. We must decide how to navigate this future, how to balance innovation with ethics, progress with precaution, and excitement with accountability. Artificial intelligence surges in China's tech landscape. China is rapidly integrating artificial intelligence into daily life, part of a broader ambition to become a global technology leader by the year 2030. AI is no longer confined to corporate boardrooms or research institutions. It has entered homes, schools, and industries at an accelerating pace. The arrival of DeepSeek, a groundbreaking Chinese chatbot released in January 2025, served as an early signal of the country's escalating ambition in this space. That debut drew international attention and marked a turning point. Since then, investment has surged across China's AI sector, fueling a competitive domestic market where over 4,500 companies now focus on developing and marketing AI technologies. Educational institutions have quickly followed suit. Schools in Beijing plan to launch AI-focused courses for primary and secondary students within the year. Universities, recognizing the demand for skilled professionals, have expanded enrollment in AI-related fields to cultivate a new generation of tech talent. This momentum aligns with the long-term strategy announced by the Chinese Communist Party in 2017, which positioned AI as the main engine of national progress. Facing economic challenges and trade tensions with the United States, President Xi Jinping has doubled down on that goal, allocating 10 trillion yuan, approximately 1.4 trillion USD over the next 15 years, to propel China ahead in the global tech race. In January 2025 alone, the government launched a 60 billion yuan AI investment fund, shortly after Washington imposed tighter export controls on advanced chips and sanctioned additional Chinese firms. Despite these obstacles, Chinese companies have demonstrated their ability to innovate under pressure. DeepSeek's successful launch stunned Silicon Valley and defied expectations that China would lag behind due to these restrictions. Industry analysts and competitors did not anticipate that Chinese firms would catch up so quickly, yet they did. A generation of engineers and the rise of smart robotics. Tommy Tang has encountered this skepticism firsthand. For the past 6 months, he has promoted his company's chess-playing robot at tech fairs and competitions, frequently witnessing surprise from foreign customers. Timmy's robot, built by Tang's company Sense Robot, has already sold over 100,000 units and recently secured a partnership with the American retail giant Costco. Whenever prospective buyers inquire about the robot's origin, Tang notes a familiar reaction. Many assume the product hails from the United States or Europe. When he informs them it is Chinese-made, a brief silence often follows. However, these moments of hesitation soon give way to curiosity and recognition of China's growing technological prowess. Sense. Robots' achievements reflect a broader trend. In 2020 alone, over 3.5 million Chinese students graduated with degrees in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, STEM, surpassing any other country. China's government has emphasized the importance of nurturing talent in these fields, viewing education, science, and innovation as pillars of national strength. Abbott Liu, vice president of Shanghai-based WalesBot, credits this foundation for the country's engineering momentum. His company develops AI-powered toys that help children, even as young as 3, learn the basics of coding. One of WalesBot's latest products features multicolored bricks that children can assemble into programmable dinosaurs or vehicles. Accompanied by instruction booklets, these toys enable young users to build and control their creations through smartphone-based code. Starting at around $40 USD, these toys aim to make AI education accessible to a broader demographic. Liu emphasizes that while other countries produce AI educational toys, China stands out in hardware innovation and affordability. The success of DeepSeek, he argues, served as a public demonstration that AI is not just a theoretical concept, it is a transformative force in daily life. DeepSeek's rapid rise also turned its CEO, Liang Wenfeng, into a national figure, with state media estimating the publicity as equivalent to 10 billion yuan in advertising value for the domestic AI industry. China's 6 leading AI firms, now colloquially known online as the 6 Little Dragons, include DeepSeek, Unitary Robotics, Deep Robotics, BrainCo, Game Science, and Manycore Tech. These companies are at the forefront of China's AI expansion and have gained recognition for their rapid innovation. At a recent AI expo in Shanghai, these firms showcased cutting-edge technologies, from rescue robots to a backflipping, dog-like machine that roamed the exhibition halls. One popular attraction featured two teams of humanoid robots playing football on an artificial turf field. The robots, dressed in red and blue jerseys, stumbled, collided, and even required mock rescues from human handlers, injecting humor into a highly technical demonstration. Amid the excitement, young engineers like Yu Jingji, age 26, expressed renewed confidence. He explained that DeepSeek's success validated China's place in the global AI arena. "The world now knows we are here," he remarked, reflecting the sentiment among many in the tech community. Data, privacy, and the global AI race. As China's AI industry garners global attention, international concerns about data privacy and surveillance have intensified. Artificial intelligence thrives on vast datasets, and with China's 1 billion mobile phone users, domestic developers enjoy access to an enormous pool of information, more than double that of the United States. However, governments and experts in Western nations argue that China's national intelligence law could allow the Chinese Communist Party to access user data collected by private companies. This perception, fueled by geopolitical tensions, has led to significant pushback. The United States banned TikTok, citing fears that data could be transferred to Beijing, while South Korea prohibited new downloads of DeepSeek. Taiwan and Australia followed suit, barring the app from government-issued devices. Chinese companies like ByteDance, TikTok's parent firm, maintain that the law also provides protections for user data and private enterprises. Still, these reassurances have not eased all concerns. In response, some Chinese developers, including Tang's company, have prioritized privacy standards and emphasized data security as non-negotiable principles. Even within China, leaders acknowledge that data-related concerns could hinder the country's global AI ambitions. State-run publications like Beijing Daily noted that DeepSeek's swift ascent had triggered hostile responses abroad and warned that China's AI sector faces an uncertain environment due to geopolitical constraints. Nevertheless, Chinese AI firms remain undeterred. They aim to outcompete foreign counterparts, not just through technological prowess, but by producing cost-effective solutions. DeepSeek's claim that it could rival ChatGPT at a fraction of the cost sent shockwaves through the global AI industry and raised the bar for innovation. Manufacturing efficiency has become a key part of this strategy. Tang revealed that the robotic arm used in his chess-playing machines initially drove production costs up to $40,000 USD. To reduce expenses, his team leveraged AI to optimize the engineering process, eventually cutting the cost to $1,000 USD. This shift exemplifies what he calls artificial engineering, where AI not only powers the product, but also enhances the manufacturing workflow. This model, scaling AI development while reducing production costs, could have profound implications for China's broader economy. The government already envisions AI-powered humanoid robots assisting in elder care, particularly as the population ages. State media frequently broadcast footage of robot-staffed factories, illustrating how automation may shape the workforce of the future. President Xi Jinping has repeatedly emphasized technological self-reliance, urging the development of domestically produced advanced chips to counter US export restrictions. His administration recognizes that achieving leadership in AI is a long-term goal. Beijing Daily recently cautioned against AI triumphalism and reminded citizens that, despite DeepSeek's success, China remains in catch-up mode. Still, Xi's strategy reflects a marathon mindset. He aims to position China not only as a participant in the global AI race, but as a future leader. Through sustained investment, education, and innovation, the nation continues to build momentum. The world is watching, and China's AI industry shows no signs of slowing down. But China isn't the only country that is investing in the AI robot race. India enters the defense robotics arena with Prahasta and barbaric URCWS. India has also officially stepped into the high-stakes world of robotic defense technology, and it is making its presence known with serious firepower and innovation. Leading this charge are Zen Technologies and its strategic partner AI Turing Technologies, who have jointly developed a four-legged robotic platform named Prahasta. The name draws inspiration from a formidable warrior figure in Hindu mythology, and this machine lives up to its warrior namesake. Far from a novelty or experimental prototype, Prahasta is designed for real-world defense operations with capabilities that rival, and in some cases surpass, those of more established robotic systems seen globally. Unlike robot dogs built for entertainment or industrial logistics, Prahasta is a combat-oriented machine with an array of advanced features built for battlefield readiness. Equipped to carry and deploy assault weapons, Prahasta serves a tactical purpose beyond surveillance or patrol. The robot's design prioritizes both agility and durability, enabling it to navigate complex terrain while withstanding the demands of active combat zones. One of Prahasta's most notable features is its use of LiDAR technology, a scanning system that functions similarly to radar but employs laser light to map its surroundings with high precision. By generating real-time, three-dimensional representations of the environment, Prahasta can navigate, assess threats, and plan movement autonomously. LiDAR allows the robot to function effectively in varied and challenging environments, from urban landscapes to rugged terrain, with minimal human intervention. Beyond terrain mapping, Prahasta relies on artificial intelligence-driven mission planning systems that enable it to understand and adapt to different operational contexts. In practical terms, this means Prahasta can independently evaluate obstacles, calculate optimal paths, and carry out mission objectives with a level of sophistication previously reserved for human soldiers or remotely piloted systems. Zen Technologies recently released a demonstration video showcasing Prahasta's capabilities. In it, Prahasta effortlessly climbs stairs, maneuvers around physical obstructions, and even leaps across gaps with a level of dexterity that suggests intense engineering and design precision. The robot's mobility resembles that of a highly trained service animal, but with the strength and resilience of a mechanical platform. Perhaps most impressively, Prahasta can lift and transport a fully grown adult, a feature that offers crucial life-saving potential in rescue or evacuation scenarios. With the ability to carry up to 180 pounds, Prahasta could retrieve injured personnel from dangerous zones without risking additional human lives. If knocked over during deployment, Prahasta can activate a self-righting mechanism. Zen Technologies calls this function auto-resurrection, a dramatic yet accurate term that reflects the robot's ability to recover from physical disruptions. This feature ensures operational continuity in high-risk environments where every second counts. While Prahasta draws much of the attention due to its imposing presence and advanced mobility, Zen Technologies has also introduced another innovation in defense technology, the barbaric URCWS, or ultra-lightweight remote-controlled weapons station. As the name suggests, this system allows for remote operation of firearms and is designed to be the lightest weapons station of its kind. The lightweight construction ensures adaptability across various military platforms, not only on land but also in maritime settings. The compact and efficient design makes it suitable for mounting on ships, vehicles, and static defense positions, enhancing flexibility across combat scenarios. Ashok Atluri, the CEO of Zen Technologies, emphasized the transformative potential of both Prahasta and barbaric URCWS. He believes these advancements will redefine the role of robotics in defense and reconnaissance, making them integral to modern combat strategy. Atluri highlighted the need for technological innovation in defense, noting that systems like Prahasta could enhance efficiency, safety, and precision in operations where traditional human involvement carries significant risk. Zen Technologies is not a newcomer in the defense sector. The company has already established a reputation for developing and delivering anti-drone systems, combat simulators, and training modules. Their products have reached a global market, with over 1,000 simulators and training systems shipped worldwide. The transition into autonomous and semi-autonomous robotic platforms marks a significant expansion of their technological scope and influence. Prahasta and barbaric URCWS demonstrate a clear shift in focus, from simulated environments to active deployment systems capable of performing real-time combat functions. With this, India joins a growing list of nations exploring autonomous and AI-integrated defense technologies, positioning itself as a serious contender in the global robotics arms race. Armed robots and the limits of autonomy. The rise of robotic combat systems, such as Prahasta, introduces not only technical and strategic considerations but also deep ethical concerns. As machines move from industrial applications into armed conflict, societies worldwide must address fundamental questions about autonomy, accountability, and the use of force. When a robot carries a weapon, who bears responsibility for its actions? Can a machine make ethical decisions in life and death situations? These are no longer speculative dilemmas, they are becoming urgent realities. The inclusion of artificial intelligence in decision-making processes, particularly in defense, complicates traditional frameworks of military ethics and international law. Although Prahasta currently operates under human supervision, future iterations could possess increased autonomy, making independent assessments and engaging targets without direct human command. This raises critical concerns. How much autonomy should we allow? What safeguards are necessary to prevent unintended consequences? International protocols, including the Geneva Conventions, focus on human actors in warfare. The integration of AI-driven robots challenges these standards, requiring either reinterpretation or the establishment of new legal frameworks. While robotic systems offer tactical advantages, they also risk removing the human element from decisions involving force and violence. Without clear accountability, we face the danger of misuse, unintended escalation, or violations of human rights. Technologists and ethicists alike argue for the need to balance innovation with responsibility. As robots gain capabilities once exclusive to humans, including the power to deploy lethal force, societies must establish robust regulatory mechanisms. These mechanisms should ensure transparency in development, clarity in deployment guidelines, and accountability for any harm caused. Additionally, public discourse plays a crucial role. Governments, developers, and defense agencies must engage civil society, legal experts, and ethicists in shaping the policies that govern the use of robotic systems in combat. Open dialogue encourages transparency and fosters trust, both of which are essential as this technology becomes more integrated into military operations. The broader implication is clear. Robotics and AI will not remain confined to factories or logistical support. They will increasingly occupy roles on the front lines of conflict, fundamentally altering how wars are fought and how peace is maintained. As this shift occurs, the ethical and philosophical questions surrounding these technologies will become central to policy, governance, and public concern. While the development of Prahasta and barbaric URCWS represents a technological milestone, it also underscores the need for careful, measured progress. As India and other nations continue to innovate, they must do so with an eye toward ethical responsibility, legal compliance, and global security. The robots of tomorrow may carry weapons, but the decisions about how and when they use them must remain firmly in human hands. Where the United States stands in the race for AI supremacy. As China and India accelerate their investment in artificial intelligence, the United States finds itself in a rapidly intensifying global competition for technological dominance. While American companies like OpenAI, Google, and Microsoft have long led AI innovation, pioneering tools such as ChatGPT and advanced machine learning models, China's swift rise is shifting the landscape. The US government has responded with increased funding for AI research, tightened export controls on critical technologies like semiconductors, and heightened scrutiny of Chinese tech firms operating within its borders. Education and talent development remain key strengths for the United States, with its universities attracting top researchers from around the world. However, concerns about talent retention and supply chain vulnerabilities continue to pose challenges. Moreover, debates around data privacy, AI regulation, and ethical use shape both public perception and policy decisions. While the United States still leads in foundational AI research and innovation, China's aggressive approach, combined with its vast domestic data resources and manufacturing capabilities, has narrowed the gap. The race for AI supremacy is no longer theoretical. It is a strategic contest with far-reaching economic, military, and societal implications. How the US responds in the coming years will determine its role in shaping the future of artificial intelligence. Alright, so that's it for this video, and if you want to watch more amazing content like this, check out some of our other videos. Bye!